This is a classic blues and R&B podcast.
Our guest here is Mr. Bobby Rush, or Dr. Bobby Rush, whichever name you wish to give him. Because Bobby is the kind of guy that say you just called him.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So welcome to the program, Dr. Rush.
Well, thank you very much, man. I apologize for not being here a little bit early, but I saw this number and I didn't know what number it was, so that's what happened, you know.
Yeah, well, that's life, you know. We got all this stuff going today.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate everything, but right. I'm just out here, man, trying to get back to work. And as soon as I got back to work, it looked like everything want to shut down again. But we just trusting God that will keep things open, keep us safe, so we can get through this situation that we're all in. We're all in it together, man. We just hoping, praying for tomorrow, bring a better day.
That's exactly right. Now, we want to talk to you about your book and all the other accomplishments that you've been bestowed upon you in the last day or two.
Well, we would thank you for me having a chance to tell you about it and talk about some things that happened. I'm so blessed, man. I've been doing this business for almost 70 years, recording since 397 records. I've been up 5 times for Grammy and won two of those. Been up for a Blues Award 31 times and won 18 of those. And here I am with this new book. That's my first book, Mother. It's new to me, but it's my first one. It's called I Ain't Studying, and I'm telling it on myself and other people around me and talking about some ups and downs. But what I want people to come away when you read this book, all of my ups and downs, all the things that I've been through in life, God have given me the strength to make it out of it. I want you to know that if I made it out of all the battles that I've been in, you can do it too. I'm one of the few black men who survived the rat race. Not that I'm so smart, but I'm so blessed. God have allowed me a space in this world to do what I do. So that's why I rely on.
Okay, now the title of your book, I'm very familiar with the term. Why did you come up with that term? Hey, study you, boy. Get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I did that because of the whole thing about it. Ain't studying is a slang that when we was kids, when your mother tell you, say, boy, I used to ask my mother, she used to cook tea cakes, and now you cook them tea cakes, and I would be eating them in the kitchen. When the other kids came time for dinner, I would eat just as many as they would eat. She said, boy, I'm not giving you no more. Get out of here. I ain't studying. That means you don't get no more, you know.
Yeah.
So I use that, and I ain't studying like I'm not thinking about you, if the people don't understand that saying. But I use it because the record was big, and people know me from that kind of a statement and saying. But I want people to know one thing, that this been a up and down situation with me as a blues singer, especially as a black man. In life, I had a lot of valleys, but every time I fall in one of my valleys, in one of my rough situations, something or somebody come along and lift me out of it. Now, I've been doing this for a long, long time. When I left Louisiana in 1947, went to Pineville Park, I was out with my father, and I talk about it in this book. And my father was a preacher and pastor of a church. I wanted to get to Chicago so bad because I thought Chicago was my heaven. In other words, it was my way of getting to what I needed to do and what I wanted to do as a man, especially as a black man. But when I got to Chicago in 1951, I run into a brick wall in suburb of Chicago, Blue Hour. That was a place where they wanted me to work for $7 a night I was making. Had Muddy Waters come out on Wednesday night, and he was working for me for $5.50. The point of it about the money issue is one thing, but I was working behind a curtain every night where they wanted to hear my music, not see my face. Mm. So that was a big wall to me, because I came to Chicago looking for the way out, looking for a way out. But I found the same thing, even worse than it was in the southern states, man. Mm. And that was a brick wall. So then I went down to Chess to record with Chess, and so one of the Chess brothers came in and was interviewing me. Myself was there, Bo Diddler was there, Muddy Waters was there. Jimmy Reed was there, although he wasn't recording for Chess Recording Company. And John Lee Hooker was there, and Willie Dixon was there, Lil Walter. And they was inviting me down so I could try to get this job with Chess. And I made a mistake of reading the pamphlet on the table. Said 10-208 was union was merchant musician union. And he said, "Where you get that information from, boy?" He used the word "boy." And Leonard said, "On your desk." He threw it back at me. "So what did it say, boy?" I read it to him mistakenly. He turned and told his brother, said, "We can't use that nigga because he can read." So I didn't get the job. Bo Diddley and a few other guys around the table, they finally started recording for Chess, but I didn't record for Chess. So those one of the valleys. I went there to record for Chess because I read this paper to him. They didn't want me there because I could read the contracts, I suppose. Mm. When they say I could read, I guess they're talking about the contracts. Those kind of things. And I had a lot of ups and downs. But I had, a lot of bad and a lot of good. But my good overtake the bad, you know? And I want people to know in this book, if I made it out of all of this I went through, you could make it out of your valleys too. That's what I want you to come away with this book, you know. And I tell about, and I know I'm going to give with some slack probably on the Dixon side of the family, because I happen to know that Willie wasn't writing all the songs that Muddy Waters and all the guys recorded. Because how you going to write for a guy who couldn't read or write? You know, so the guys are bringing some things to the table that wasn't true. Who know better than that was myself and Buddy Guy. We know that the real deal, you know. We know the real deal. So I want people to go away with this book saying, hey, if Bobby Rist can make it, out of all these things he's been through, all the ups and downs, and then all the black and white issues in his life, you could make it too, you know, regardless, you know. Now we have a situation. Now we got the virus around, and this thing is taking all of us out. Then we got black people talking about they're not going to take it, and white people too. You know, in Mississippi where I'm living now, only 7% of the people haven't taken it. Only 30% who taking it, taking the shots for the vaccination. And I'm encouraging everybody to go out and take it, just like you go out and eat dinner. You sit down at the table, you bless the table, you ask God to bless the food because you don't know where it come from, who cooked it, or what have you. Right. So you do the shot the same way. Chisholm, you do the shot the same way. You ask God to bless it, the doctor, the nurse, whoever giving it to you, and take the shot, because a lot of things happened in Muskegon many years ago with the shot. It wasn't so much that the black people got sick from the shot. It was a lot of black people who didn't even get the shot. And I didn't know that until I started researching it. A lot of wrong information, you know, that we getting as black people from that situation. It was a lot of people was getting the shot. They wasn't black people who was getting the shot. It was the white people who was getting the shot. You know, maybe that was a wrong approach too. That we should have got equally shot as the white people was getting. But now we got black people don't want to take the shot because they think something wrong with the shot itself. What's wrong at that time? We wouldn't get the shot, you know?
Yeah.
And the same thing with hospitalization now. A lot of times we as a race don't get the choice of the first bed when we need it, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm just encouraging everybody to listen to me, read this book, and you can come out from any valley that you're in and get the shot. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for me. Do it for your mother, grandmother, grandchild, your children, or what have you. Just do it, because it's a disrespect for you to make me sick because you don't feel like you should take your shot because you think it's going to be harm to you. What is a harm is when we don't take it. It's been proved that it's more good than it is harm when you take it. So I stress that lots, and here I am, wrote my first book, and it's done so well. I'm so blessed. Being underestimated, again, people underestimated me. And even myself didn't know what the book's going to do. I underestimated the book myself. It's done so well. So now, my publishing company who ordered more books from me now because it's done so well and people are buying it. And I want to thank everybody who bought the book so far. Thank you so much. The one who desired to buy it, can't buy it, thank you. And the one who planned to buy it, I want to thank you in advance for doing what you're doing, all this thing for me and my family. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, what made you decide to do the book? How did somebody get you to do it?
Well, I was this has been in my head for the last 25 or 30 years, and I didn't want to talk about some of the things I could talk about because some of the people were living at the time that I want to talk about this book, and some of the things have been said. People had perceived that to be the truth about it. For some things, it wasn't the truth about it, about what was going on with the, especially a lot of people who said they did some things for artists and did not do it. But I want to leave the mark on the world, that letting people know that regardless of what you went through or what you're going through, what you've been through, that you can make it if you try.
Yeah. Have you ever done any other kind of work besides being a musician, Bob?
Oh, man, please. Man, please. When I got to Chicago, I was working at the service station, flying a mule, chopping cotton before I come there. Man, please. I did some of everything from the dishwashing to whatever, man, working at a factory. And, man, I did some of everything. He tried to buy me a guitar and buy me an amplifier, man. Hey, man, I did it all. Man. And I'm not above it now. I'm just an old country boy who's trying to make a living, man, who's trying to do what I need to do. And I have crossed over to a white audience, but I never crossed out me as a black, my people as a black race and my people. I never crossed out. I still go to the same places, do some of the same things I used to do in the same neighborhood. I still live in my neighborhood. Come on, I haven't changed, man. I haven't changed. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of a guitar, what was that first guitar, and how much did it cost?
Silvertone. I had a Silvertone with a Sears Roebuck, man. Yeah, I had a Silvertone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
I had a Silvertone. You know, during them times, I don't know. You probably know Southern boy. You get the Sears Roebuck and the old Silvertone guitar, a little amplifier, man. Come on. Yeah, man, you couldn't go to no music store. There wasn't no music store that I know of.
Yeah.
You know.
No.
You order from the catalog. And
right
when
it was Roebuck catalog, just like that.
And when you get it, what you got is what you got, man. If it plays, it plays. If it don't, it don't. You know what? That's all we had, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I am a Southerner. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh, well, that wasn't them. I didn't know that. All the time you're talking about, man. I'm in Jackson, Mississippi at this moment as we talk.
Yes. That is my home. That is my home.
Well, bless you, man. I'm sitting in your home. That's where my relatives from. I was born in Louisiana, but my great-grandparents and all of them from right here in Jackson and to Pittsburgh and all that area.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I want to thank you for it. You got some more you want to talk about the book, you can talk about it. If you got something else you want to say,
But I just want to say to you, thanks for what you have done, what you're doing, and what you plan to do, because what you say about me, what people perceive me to be. So thank you for keeping the blues alive on BON and our longtime friend and station of mine and all the people there. And thank you for what you're doing. And keep the good work, keep the blues alive. And thanks for being my friend. God bless you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Rush.
Thank you, man.
I like that, Dr. Rush. How you?
Call me doctor. Call me doctor, man. Call me doctor. If you call me to eat, call me doctor first.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love you, man.
Thank you very much, Bobby. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, sir. We've been talking with Mr. Bobby Rush here, longtime musician who's a blues man. He is a singer. He plays guitar. He plays harmonica. He's been around a while, for approximately 50-some years. Bobby's in his 80s somewhere, I think, as he but Buddy Guy, some of the older guys, it's incidental. They both from Louisiana. Bobby from one side, and Buddy's from the other side. Buddy's from the east side, and Bobby's from the west side of Louisiana there. So it's amazing that they're still here, and thank God they're still going strong. The name of Bobby's book is I Ain't Studying Ya. My American Blues Story is written by Bobby Rush with Herb Powell. So it's on Amazon and some of the other sites. You can get them there. You can get hardcovers of the book as well. So check it out and give it a read. You know, it's the Americana. That's exactly what it is. And this is Henry Cheatham thanking you for joining us here on this edition.
Thanks for joining our podcast here on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to us at Henry CB. Follow us on Twitter at WVON Henry and like our Facebook page at Classic Blues and R&B.